Some people walk into a room and immediately sense tension before a single word is spoken. They can feel what others feel: anxiety, excitement, resentment, almost like emotional radar. Others, however, don't feel emotions as deeply, yet they know exactly what to say, when to say it, and to whom. They navigate conversations, charm crowds, and build influence, all without losing their composure. At first glance, they might look equally gifted in human connection. But beneath the surface lies a quiet distinction, a difference between feeling emotions deeply and managing social dynamics effectively. That's a subtle but powerful line between emotional intelligence and social intelligence. Two forms of awareness that often intertwine, yet serve profoundly different functions in how we understand ourselves and others. In today's world, we often treat emotional and social intelligence as synonyms, as if they both mean being good with people. But in psychology, they describe two distinct lenses through which we interpret human behavior. Emotional intelligence is inward and relational. It's about understanding your emotions, recognizing what triggers them, and managing them so they don't control your decisions. It's that internal clarity that helps you pause before reacting, apologize when you're wrong, and empathize when others are struggling. Social intelligence, on the other hand, is outward and strategic. It's the art of reading people, picking up subtle cues, navigating group dynamics, and adapting behavior to fit the situation. It's less about what you feel and more about how you respond in social contexts. In simple terms, emotional intelligence governs your relationship with yourself and your close circle. Social intelligence governs how you move through the world. Both are vital, yet when one develops without the other, it creates imbalance. The empath who burns out emotionally, or the socially skilled person who manipulates without compassion. To understand how these two forms of intelligence differ, we need to explore where they come from. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, was popularized by psychologist Daniel Goleman in the 1990s. It builds on self-awareness, the ability to observe your emotions without being swept away by them. Psychologists often describe it as the bridge between emotion and reason. People high in EQ can recognize when they're stressed, hurt, or angry, and they regulate these emotions before they shape their actions. They don't suppress how they feel, they understand it. Imagine a manager who's frustrated after a team member makes a mistake. An emotionally intelligent leader won't explode or assign blame. Instead, they'll pause, take a breath, and channel that frustration into constructive feedback. That act of pausing, that micro moment of awareness, is emotional intelligence in motion. Now contrast that with social intelligence, a term that dates back to psychologist Edward Thorndike in 1920. Thorndike defined it as the ability to understand and manage men and women, boys and girls, to act wisely in human relations. Social intelligence is less about what happens inside you and more about what happens between you and others. Picture that same manager again, this time in a group setting. They might notice that one employee is unusually quiet, another dominates a conversation, and a third avoids eye contact. A socially intelligent leader picks up these cues instantly. They invite the quiet one in, gently redirect the talkative one, and make the anxious one feel safe enough to contribute. They're not just reading the room, they're regulating it. This is where the two overlap. Emotional intelligence gives you empathy. Social intelligence gives you timing. Emotional intelligence helps you feel others' emotions. Social intelligence helps you respond to them effectively. Yet, here's where it gets complex. Emotional sensitivity doesn't always translate into social skill. Someone deeply empathetic might absorb others' emotions so intensely that they struggle to function in social settings. They can sense pain but not always know how to ease it. Conversely, a socially intelligent person might navigate people effortlessly but lack genuine empathy. They know what works, not necessarily what's right. That's why psychologists see emotional and social intelligence as complementary but distinct. One roots you in authenticity. The other refines your adaptability. When fused together, they form what some researchers call interpersonal maturity, the capacity to stay grounded in yourself while staying attuned to others. but when separated, each carries its own shadow. Emotional intelligence without social intelligence can make you insightful but isolated. Social intelligence without emotional intelligence can make you charming but shallow. And in a world that rewards charisma, it's easy to mistake the latter for true connection. The truth is, we all lean more naturally toward one form of intelligence than the other. Some of us feel deeply but struggle to express it. Others communicate smoothly but rarely stop to reflect. Neither is wrong. Both are simply different ways of surviving in a social world that demands both empathy and adaptability. Now, we'll explore what shapes these differences, how childhood, environment, and personality influence whether you become emotionally or socially intelligent first, and how to balance both for deeper, more authentic relationships. Because the goal isn't to choose between feeling deeply or connecting widely. It's to master both, so you can understand yourself and the world around you with equal clarity. Emotional and social intelligence don't just emerge from personality. They evolve from experience. They are shaped in the quiet moments of childhood, in how we were comforted, corrected, or ignored. Children who grew up in emotionally expressive families often develop strong emotional intelligence. They were taught to name what they felt, to apologize when they hurt someone, and to listen when others were in pain. They learned that emotions weren't weaknesses. They were information. But children who learned to read the room before they could speak often developed something different. Social intelligence born out of survival. They sensed when anger was about to erupt, when silence meant danger, or when humor could diffuse tension. They became socially attuned, experts in adaptation. But sometimes, they learn to hide their emotions to keep the peace. That's the hidden truth. Not all social intelligence comes from connection. Some comes from self-protection. We often praise those who are good with people, but many of them became that way because they had to be. They learned how to manage others' emotions before understanding their own. Psychologists call this hypersociability, a defense mechanism disguised as charm. It's common among people who grew up in unpredictable environments, where reading others was a form of emotional safety. They can navigate crowds, lead teams, mediate conflict. Yet internally, they may struggle to know what they feel. On the other end, emotionally intelligent people may feel deeply but lack that external adaptability. They understand emotions on an intimate level but struggle to manage social complexity, missing subtle cues or overanalyzing interactions. This is why some of the most empathetic people feel misunderstood. Their emotional clarity doesn't always translate into social ease. Both sides, the empath and the adapter, are navigating the same landscape through different routes, one from the inside out, the other from the outside in. But real balance happens when awareness and adaptability meet, when you can feel deeply and move wisely through the world. That balance is the essence of emotional maturity. There's a quiet power in understanding this difference, not just intellectually, but emotionally. Because at its core, emotional intelligence is about honesty. It asks, can I sit with what I feel without running from it? Social intelligence, in contrast, is about harmony. It asks, can I move through others' emotions without losing myself in them? And that's the tension many of us live with. We want to be kind without being consumed. We want to connect without pretending. That's the dance. Empathy balanced with boundaries, compassion guided by discernment. Think about how this plays out in relationships. When two emotionally intelligent people connect, there's depth, vulnerability, openness, truth. But without social intelligence, they might misread timing or overwhelm each other with honesty that feels too raw. When two socially intelligent people connect, there's flow, effortless conversation, mutual understanding, shared laughter. But without emotional grounding, it can feel performative, lacking the raw sincerity that builds real trust. The human heart craves both depth and flow, truth and tact. That's why emotional and social intelligence are not opposites, but partners. One makes you authentic, the other makes you effective. Together, they form the architecture of emotional resilience, the ability to feel fully, connect deeply, and still remain centered when the world pulls you in all directions. You begin to notice a shift when someone speaks from that place. Their empathy doesn't drain them, it guides them. Their charm doesn't manipulate, it connects. Their presence feels grounded, not loud, not flashy, just real. That kind of person has mastered both forms of intelligence. They know when to listen and when to lead, when to comfort and when to challenge, when to speak and when silence says more. And maybe that's what true intelligence is, not the ability to analyze or persuade, but the wisdom to respond to life with both heart and awareness. The line between emotional and social intelligence isn't a wall, it's a mirror. It shows us where we connect easily and where we still need to grow. If you tend to feel deeply but struggle to express it, your path is to develop the social, to translate emotion into action. If you tend to adapt quickly but rarely reflect, your path is to strengthen the emotional, to anchor your charm and truth. Because the world doesn't just need more emotional people. It needs emotionally intelligent ones. People who understand not only how they feel, but how their presence shapes others. It doesn't just need more socially skilled people. It needs socially intelligent ones. People who can navigate complexity without losing integrity. So, which one are you more fluent in, emotional or social? And more importantly, which one are you ready to strengthen? If this changed how you see yourself or the people around you, take a moment to subscribe, reflect, and share this with someone who values growth as much as you do. Because understanding the difference between emotional and social intelligence doesn't just make you wiser, it makes you human in the deepest, most connected sense.